Today, we're diving into a topic that's bound to ruffle a few feathers. Musicians. And yes, I'm including myself in this. We are absolute masters at wasting time. We can turn a 3-minute song into a 3-week distraction faster than you can say vintage compressor plugin. So in this episode, I'm calling out the 17 biggest time wasters we all fall for. The traps, the habits, the productive procrastination that keeps us from actually making music. If you've ever spent 4 hours tweaking a hi-hat or rewriting your bio instead of finishing your song, yeah, this one's for you. Let's dive in with number one, and that is recording the same vocal take 47 times. At some point, you're just recording your own self-doubt. Ooh, right? Yeah, the fifth take is often better than the 25th. Sometimes the first take has that raw energy that you actually are looking for, that you really want in your song. You tend to lose authenticity when you overperform. Have you ever found that? You're getting it on and on and on and on, and then you go back and listen to the first couple of takes, you're like, why are they so much better? Surely I should be polishing this thing, and by the 10th take it should be amazing, but it doesn't work that way. So save yourself the heartache and the headache and the comping or choosing of vocals at the end, and make sure that you just get the take down the best that you can. Good enough is often good enough, and we can have very perfectionistic tendencies. Put myself in this boat too. Sometimes having that little crackle in your voice or that little note that just slides up or down, that can add the interest to your song. I always use Michael Stipe when I talk about singers because he's one of my favorites. Is he traditionally a great singer? Yeah, you probably wouldn't say so, but yeah, he gets some pretty amazing vocal sounds. So maybe save yourself some hassle and the 47 vocal takes. Number two, arguing about which door is better on Reddit or Facebook or Gearplace or wherever you are. The door wars are the flat earth debates of music production. Let's be honest, it's irrelevant and it's unnecessary, and we all know the truth, it's GarageBand. No, we all know the truth, which is they all do pretty much the same thing. Maybe in the past you could have argued that one door sounds better than another door or has more professional features. But I tell you what, the difference these days between Fruity Loops and Logic Pro, between Ableton Live and Pro Tools, it's all just about the style. It's all just about how you approach your music creation. So if you've found something that works for you and other people find something that works for them, great. No fan has ever asked what door you... Okay, I have. But your regular music listeners, the people whose ear holes you're trying to fill with your tunes, they're not ever coming to you and saying, what? The only time I get this is when they're like, really? You did that on GarageBand? Sounds pretty good. Which is a bit of a backhanded compliment. It's a tool. It's not a religion. You don't have to commit to it. You can just say, hey, I use this tool. Oh, you use a different one? Good for you. Use the one that helps you finish songs. It's the most important thing of all these. Just make sure that you're getting it done. Number three, comparing gear instead of using it. Oh my goodness. If the door wars are pointless, the gear wars are even more pointless. You can't EQ a track you haven't recorded, right? So if you're worrying about which piece of gear you're using, how about you use what you've got right now to make the best music? And yeah, sure, we all love shopping, we all love looking around, but the endless YouTube rabbit holes you can go down comparing this and that, you really can make magic with some pretty budget gear. You don't need all the bells and whistles, and it's your ideas matter more than your interface, don't they? Yeah, use what you have. Do it now. Create music. Before you go and create music, though, we've got another 13 of these to go through. 14, in fact. Can't count. So, but if you are having fun, if you're enjoying these, if some of these are hitting a little too close to home, feel free to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment. Did I miss anything in this 17? Are there other things that you're using that are spending too much time, that are wasting your time, that you could be using creating more music? I know I am. Number 4, making a track radio ready when you've got 14 others that you haven't actually finished. Radio ready, mate, you haven't even hit SoundCloud yet. You haven't even uploaded your first demo to Slaps. You haven't even got it 100% done. So yeah, we can skip to the parts where we like to. And a lot of people I see spend a lot of time on the mixing and the mastering. They still haven't even got it done. like a 90%, the amount of 90%, 95%, 99%. Finish more music before you obsess over one because you're going to learn from it. I've said this a bunch of times. You are going to learn when you release that first song. When you go by release, you don't have to release it on Spotify and Apple Music with DistroKid. You can. I recommend them. Link in the description. Save 7% off your first year. But release just means letting go. I've been saying create, record, release for years, and I've realized that the release is just about letting it go, releasing it to the world, and then moving on to your next one. And people may say, oh, but that's putting quantity over quality. Well, quantity leads to quality. Your first song isn't going to be great regardless of how many hours you spend on it. So if you're polishing that first turd, maybe move on and make another track. Finish it and then make another track. Number 5, waiting for inspiration instead of creating a habit. I am in an absolute rut at the moment with music creation. And why is it? Because I've sacrificed my music creation habit to do other things, which, look, yes, I'm doing them for my business and for my family and for my own personal mental health. So it's not like it's a bad thing. But if I had the habit, if I just made sure I carved out time and consistently did music creation at a certain time, if I took my own advice, I would be doing more songs. So write even when you don't feel like it. In fact, sometimes you can write some really angry things. You can just write, I really don't want to write this. The world sucks and everything sucks. And then you write a punk song and it's a protest song and it's cool. You can't edit a blank session. So if you're just staring at that empty door, just hit record and do something. Just put something down. The pros show up, even uninspired. If Ed Sheeran's rocking up for a concert and he's just not feeling it, guess what, Ed Sheeran? You're getting paid millions of dollars. Get up on stage, boy, and sing. Play your guitar and treat it like a job if you want results. And look, you might listen to all that sort of stuff and say, that sounds too high pressure. Well, then guess what? Don't do it. But you can't have one without the other. So if you're complaining about the fact that you're never doing any music, but then you're not creating the habit and you're not spending the time creating music, well, guess what? It's not going to magically create itself. And inspiration isn't just going to hit you out of the blue. Sometimes it does. That's why you always carry a phone with you. Always have the ability to voice record because, yeah, there you go. Additional tip. Number 6, overmastering those bedroom demos. Yeah, it's not a Grammy submission. It's a demo. So chill. Relax, guy. Demos are for ideas. They're not for perfection. You're not fooling anyone by just piling a bunch of compressors and limiters on there. Just making it really loud and radio ready and polished doesn't make it a great recording, doesn't make it a great song. So spend time on your demos. Demos are for experimentation. They are for trying different things. You're not going to get the perfect take during your demos because quite often your song's still being composed. You're still in the song construction process. You're not really focusing on your best performance. Now, sometimes you'll capture lightning in a bottle. I've had a heap of songs where my demo, my scratch guitar, and it's why when you're doing a demo, the flip side is also true. Make sure that you still try and record it well. Don't go, it's just a demo, I won't bother with my levels. It's just a demo, I won't bother recording it properly. No, just record it properly like you would. But yeah, don't stress out and don't just grab that and go, oh no, I've got to make this demo sound amazing. No, demos are supposed to be rough and ready. They're supposed to give the idea of what the song could be, and then you record your polished version. Number 7, choosing the right genre. Genre hopping, chasing trends. It's like running on a treadmill, isn't it? The amount of people that started producing like deep house when that was popular and started producing lo-fi hip hop when that was popular and I don't even know what's popular now, but you know the sort of stuff. All these genres that I've never heard of are trap music. Remember the big trap music of 2020, 2021? Everyone, every man and their dog, every lady and their cat, every person and their ferret were creating trap beats. Yeah, it's a trap-like beat. Yeah, if that's what you're into, cool. If you're chasing trends instead of actually just making the stuff that makes you happy, maybe reconsider. Listeners care about your emotion and your vibe, and you can't do that if you're producing music in a genre that you don't like. Yeah, trying to sound like everyone else makes you forgettable. You can be the best version of you. You can't be the best version of someone else, but you can be the best version of you. Now, does that mean you shouldn't try different genres? No, you try whatever genres you like. In fact, I use that as a tool, and I recommend doing that because trying different genres can really take you on a creative journey away from the usual. Like for me, I play a lot of stuff on acoustic guitar. If I grab the bass, or if I grab a keyboard, or if I go a cappella, or if I start with a beat or drums instead of a guitar, yeah, things end up different. And that can be cool. I can create music in a different genre, and I have done that. I've got a couple of songs that are borderline hip hop because I started with some drums and bass and, yeah, saw where it went from there. So just make what you like. Don't worry about chasing the genres that other people tell you are right. Number 8, watching too many YouTube tutorials. But wait, without applying them. There is nothing wrong with YouTube tutorials. YouTube tutorials mean that I can feed my family and keep the lights on around here. However, passive learning feels productive, but is it? Is learning actually learning if you don't apply it? Practice beats theory. My piano teacher, Mrs. Sadu, I used to tell her this all the time. She's like, Peter, you haven't done your theory. And I'm like, Mrs. Sadu, practice is better than theory. I played a lot of piano. I just don't understand the notes on the treble clef. And she said, do your theory. And I said, I quit. No, I didn't. I did piano for a good few years, but yeah, I didn't love the structured learning. Pick one tip and try it immediately. This is a great tip. Our friend Russ creates great music, and when he watches a tutorial about a particular plugin or app, he will make a song. His next song will include that plugin or that app. And the reason for that is that in embedding the knowledge and the learning. And otherwise you go down that infinite rabbit hole. So step out of the rabbit hole and make some bloody music. Make some noise. And yeah, that includes my tutorials, please. I'd love you to watch them, but if you're binging content for 2 hours when you could have watched one 20-minute tutorial and then created for an hour and 40 minutes, yeah, I think you know the way you should go. Writing bios instead of music. And here's the thing, bios are important. Marketing is important. We'll talk about that in a moment. But no one reads your bio if you've got no music to hear. Have you seen this? Have you seen these folks that are like, oh, I'm a musician and a creator and a studio engineer and I've got 26 years experience, and there's no music. It's a blank page. Like, your bio sounds fabulous. What have you created? What's that? Nothing. You just read a nice bio. Okay, sure. But bios will evolve after your story begins. So your music is your intro, and then the bio kind of fills in the gaps, not the other way around. No one is trolling through Instagram or SoundCloud or slaps.com or anywhere looking at bios and thinking, oh, that person's bio sounds cool. I might go listen to their music. Maybe they are. But listeners care more about your sound than your CV. Yeah? So spend some time writing lyrics instead. Spend some time writing some melodies and some harmonies and do some free writing. Hey, use AI if you want to. Write it. Ask ChatGPT what it thinks of your music. Number 10, perfecting artwork for a song you're too scared to release. Have you ever done this? You don't need a museum-worthy cover for a song that's still in limbo. So good enough is good enough for early releases in particular. Some of my early album covers were pretty terrible. One was like a picture of the back of my kids walking into school because it was a EP about my family. One was a stock image that I tried to manipulate enough that it didn't look like the stock image anymore, except I see other people's albums and they're that stock image. But some of the coolest covers that I've created and that I've seen others create are just, you're out walking and you see a random image and you just snap it with your phone, and then maybe you throw it into Canva or some sort of image manipulation, and then Bob's your uncle. My song Choices has that. My song Choices has this really cool overpass. It was a retro 80s style overpass over what is the O-Bahn here. It's a busway. Yeah, we have a dedicated busway here in Adelaide. There's only 3 or 4 of them in the world, and we got one of them. So there's this cool overpass that I walked across, and then I saw it. It's just got this nice rounded arch. I could get a nice symmetrical shot of it. Again, I threw it into Canva, added some colorization, and I reckon it looks really cool. So, yeah, you're focusing on the music. But again, I didn't do that until I had the actual song. And then I was like walking and working on the song, and I'm like, oh, look at that. That looks perfect for it. Number 11, following too many gurus instead of finding your own voice. Yeah, there's no preset for authenticity. Every expert has a different method. And I say this all the time, that I would be the worst cult leader in the world. Why? Because I don't want followers. I mean, I want followers on my Instagram or subscribers on YouTube, but I don't want you to take everything I say 100% on, because you'll have different ways of approaching things. You'll have different attitudes, you'll have different beliefs, you'll have different levels of skill, you'll have different software that you like to use, you'll want to create different sorts of music. So I've seen too many people that they're like, I will do everything that Graham Cochran says, or Joe Gilder is my spirit animal. Joe Gilder tells me what to do, and I do exactly that. So if Joe uses 2 EQs on this track, I'm going to use 2 EQs and EQ exactly the same. But guess what? You're not Joe Gilder. You're not Rick Beato. You're not Graham Cochran. You are you. So yeah, you can listen, you can get information from folks, but yeah, you got to trust you. You got to trust your own ears, your own instincts. You learn by doing, not just watching. You can't make music via osmosis. You have to actually bloody get on and do it. So do it. We're on the homeward stretch here with number 12, and that is worrying about what other musicians think. Guess what? Most of them are too busy working on their own music to worry about you and your music. I say this, I use this example a lot, that Hans Zimmer in his masterclass, actually really good. And Tom Morello, if you want to do some masterclasses, both of those are really good. But Hans Zimmer, he mentioned that he doesn't spend any time. Like, he's very aware that in the future, the next up and coming movie film composer is probably some 15-year-old sitting on an iPad using Logic right now, because they probably are. And he's totally fine with that. He's totally okay. He doesn't compare himself. He doesn't worry about what other musicians or other composers are doing, because he's a professional and he knows his stuff's good. They don't let you put music to the Batman movie, the Simpsons movie, and a whole bunch more if you're not actually good. So yeah, create for connection, not validation. Create to have relationships with people and share thoughts and share your music and share ideas and tips and tricks and all that stuff with other people. But don't spend your time looking around at what other people are doing. The only time, like my wife says that, yeah, the only time you should look in at what someone else has got, so look in someone else's bowl, is to make sure they've got enough to eat. It's the same with music. The only time you should be looking at other people's music is if you're looking at ways that you can help them make music. Or maybe you're reaching out for help yourself to make your own music. You will never please everyone, so don't try. Really, don't try. Just worry about you. You do you, boo. It's words for life. We've got 5 to go here. Once again, if you're enjoying this one, I would ask you to help the algorithm by pressing the thumbs up button and leaving a comment and liking and commenting and subscribing. Number 13, trying to game the algorithm instead of building a fan base. The algorithm isn't your energy, your inconsistency is. And that's enemy. That's right. I can't read my own notes. But it's also not your energy. You shouldn't get your energy from the algorithm. Like, I was watching a video today, Adam Conover, he was interviewing, and I forget her name, but she's a music writer, and they were talking about Spotify. And they were talking about the fact that people are making music now to get on playlists. They're seeing what playlists are popular, listening to the music on those playlists, and trying to recreate that music. That is a recipe for frustration and a recipe for just being the same. Now, if all you're doing music for is to chase fame and fortune and you just want to get on Spotify playlists, okay, more power to you. You do you. But why not make the best music that you can make, that you like, that you enjoy, especially if it's not your career, especially if it's just your side hustle, or especially if you're just making music for your own happiness. Why would you make stuff that you don't like, that doesn't make you happy? Yeah. Algorithms reward value, not gimmicks. So yeah, if you are providing value to real people, they will be watching, they will be listening, they will be liking. Real engagement is harder, but it does last longer. And for the love of your deity of choice, do not think you can please an algorithm by using services that give you fake follows, fake subscribers, fake likes. Do not do sub for sub. Do not do like for like. All of these things are artificial, and the algorithms are actually way too smart for that. So there once was a time where you could fool the algorithms with this sort of stuff. Guess what? The people who code the algorithms are smarter than the dodgy people who will sell you 1,000 Spotify followers for $100. I promise you. And then you will lose your account, and then DistroKid will kick you off, and then you'll email me crying into your cornflakes because your music is no longer available anywhere. So skip all that, right? Overthinking, number 14. Overthinking your song titles. Some of my best song titles have just been like, choices. I'm just calling it choices. There you go, done. So yeah, some people are like, oh, I've got to craft. Same with lyrics, but especially with titles, you got to craft the perfect thing. If you call it Untitled Banger Number 7, just get it out there. Song 2 by Blur, really popular song. Yeah, you can think of a bunch of these, can't you? Live and Let Die. What? Yeah, The Yellow Submarine. Where? Yeah, what? Yeah, so a good title doesn't save a bad song, right? You can always rename it later, and catchy is better than clever as well. Something memorable and catchy is sometimes better than something that is like super clever. And let me tell you, it wasn't my song, but it was my album title. When I called it Selfish Aware, I thought, wow, that's really good. And you know what I'll do? I'll put the ish in brackets, self, bracket, ish, and bracket aware. So yes, I tried to be too smart, too clever, instead of just going, I will just make this as quick and simple and easy as possible. It should have just been selfish, aware. It's still fine. It still makes sense and it's kind of catchy. But then when people search for it and they don't find it, it's because I wanted to be clever. Number 15, making everything an album when it should just be a song. Now, this is going to ruffle the feathers. I know that there's many folks out there that miss the days of albums, that create concept albums and that do a great job of it. Our mate Thomas Christ, I can't ever see him just going to a singles model. I love that he creates albums, but for a lot of us, yeah, your 37-track concept album can wait. Get a song out there. Drop a single now and work towards it. Don't try and boil the ocean. Albums are earned, but not assumed. And let's be honest, singles are just more discoverable today. Whether you like it or not, we do live in a world of singles and playlists, and folks aren't generally going to listen to 10 of your songs in a row. I'm sorry. I know sometimes they will, but not often. And yeah, you're missing out if you're just always trying to do albums, but then not getting any music out. I like the singles to album approach. So I like releasing songs, and when I see artists do this, I think that works successfully. Or you can do the album and then single drops. But I think singles to albums works better these days. Don't hide your songs waiting for a perfect package is what I'm saying. Build momentum with those regular releases. And you can release an unlimited number of songs, EPs, and albums with DistroKid. Don't forget that. They are a sponsor of this channel. Full disclosure, and there's a link in the description. Save yourself 7% off your first year. Yeah, baby. Number 16, ignoring marketing because it feels too corporate. If I had $1 for every time someone says, oh, I just put my music out there to the world, I don't ever do any of the promotion because it's my art and I don't want to be a sellout. It's like, lovely, no one's going to hear your songs. You got to do something. You don't have to be a complete shill. You don't have to do what I see people do and go into all the forums and all the live streams and all the communities and just go, yo, brah, play my fire beat. No, you don't have to do that. But you do have to be visible. You don't have to be sleazy, but you do have to be seen. And sharing is part of the process, right? Not an afterthought. And look, I'm terrible at this. I'm terrible at sharing my stuff. I'm terrible at promoting myself because I still have that stigma attached to myself of like, oh, I don't want to be a slimy salesperson and tell people, come listen to my music. But you got to put it out there, don't you? You're not selling out, you're showing up, right? Yeah. So great music deserves to be heard. And your music is great. At least I think it is. Send me your music. I do a weekly music show called Your Music Live. If you'd like to submit a song for that, you can go to studiolivetoday.com/YML. So there you go. If you need an incentive to stop wasting time, to listen to these 17 tips and to make some bloody music, if you make a cool song, I'll play it on my show. That's my promise to you. Number 17. If you're wondering why 17, well, I just like random numbers. It's the internet. We like lists. We like numbered lists, and 17 seemed like a good amount for a nice, meaty podcast length show here today. Number 17 is waiting for the right time. My friend Jade Starr, when she interviews folks, she asks this question, and I don't think she's got a different answer yet. And the question is something along the lines of, when's the best time to start creating music? And the answer is 5 years ago. Of course it is. Everything would have been better if you started it earlier. So you know what the second best time is? Right now. Perfectionism is procrastination in disguise. They're the same thing. People who are perfectionistic are actually just procrastinating. They just want to put a positive spin on it. But guess what? We're still procrastinating. I'm a procrastinator. I'm talking to me. A lot of these shows that I do are lectures to myself as much as they are to anyone else. You'll grow faster by releasing more often, by creating, recording, and releasing. And momentum is greater than timing. I know I say this a lot, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you build up, if you are trying to wait for the right time to release your career, I know people that are doing this. They're like, oh, I've been working on music for 4 years. Like, what have you released? Nothing. Why not? Oh, it's not good enough yet. Then it won't be ever. What do you mean? Well, if you're not releasing, if you're not actually sharing your music, how do you know what's good and what's bad? Your music might already be good. The rawness might be what people love about your music. It might be raw energy that your music needs. Yeah. So the best time to start 5 years ago. Second best is right now. Did you resonate with these? What was your favorite of the 17? Maybe put a number in the comments. If you've watched this, if you've listened to all 17 of these, let me know which one hit home the most. Or are there ones that I missed here? Are there other ways that you, I, and others may actually be, wasting our time? And on the flip side, if you can use your time in positive ways, you'll feel better about yourself, won't you? You'll make more music, you'll do better things. And I am going to finish with this, which is if you listen to all 17 and you said, I'm doing all of those, I'm going to try to do better, and you start beating yourself up over it, don't. We all do it. We've all been there. We all have periods of time where all of these things are happening. Sometimes life gets in the way. And sometimes just getting out of bed and surviving through a day is hard enough without beating yourself up because you're not creating music. I haven't created a song since September last year, the last Songtember, and it's nearly Songtember 2025. And sometimes I start feeling bad about that. And then I look at all the things that I have done and I put a positive spin on it, because despite the fact that I haven't been able to create music, I still do a weekly show where I showcase your music. I still play the happy hour every week where I'm playing an hour of music. I'm still making tutorials that are helping you and folks like you create, record, and release their best music. So all of those things are still good. I just need to push past this procrastination and perfectionism and make some music. So, would you like to make some music too? If you'd like to learn how, make sure that you check out all the videos that I have here on Studio Live today. More than 2,500, or I think more than 3,000 now. There's lots. So you can go to studiolivetoday.com. That'll be a gateway, or just search Pete Johns on any platform you like, whether it's on Google or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. You'll find me posted away there. You know what we say at the end of every show around here? Be kind to yourself, please. Be kind to others. Keep creating, and I'll see you next time.